Hi guys, welcome to today's video. In this video, we're talking about my new hobby, Warmachine. I'm going to talk about what Warmachine is, why I like it, and how it relates to 3D printing. So let's get into it. So what is Warmachine? Warmachine is a tabletop war game that originally launched in 2003. It was originally kind of a steampunked war game with a variety of different factions, kind of at war in the Iron Kingdoms. Uh, I've only been in Warmachine for about a week, so I'm a little new to the lore. But as far as the game, it has moved forward through a few editions over the years. It is now in fourth edition as of 2023, and it was also purchased the rights by Steamforge Games. And Steamforge Games has done a lot with the IP as far as bringing on new miniatures. They did a relaunch of all new kits. They've done a lot of new two-player starter sets. There's been a lot of energy put into it in the last couple of years. So there's a lot of returning players that are picking it up, and then there's a lot of new people coming into the hobby. It feels a little bit like Warhammer, kind of around 8th edition, where there's a lot of, I think, excitement, a lot of activity in it. I got into it as my friendly local gaming store was running a demo on it. I signed up, I went and checked it out. I had a blast, got to meet a lot of great people playing the game. Most of them have been playing it for quite a few years, but again, with 4th edition coming out, a lot of people have picked up new armies or picked up new units and kind of were revitalizing the game. So what did I like about Warmachine? So for me, I've been playing Warhammer since 8th edition, and I don't want to make this a Warhammer versus Warmachine video, but that's kind of my baseline and what I use to compare it against. So for me, Warhammer, it's gone through quite a few editions. It's now moving into 11th. And as I've played it, rules and other things have changed, and I feel like the process has sped up for Warhammer, whereas rules change a lot quicker than I could keep up with. There were new codex drops, new unit drops, points adjustments, a lot of things to keep up with Warhammer, and the games themselves would take a while. So when I was setting up with friends, you would have a long game, especially if new rules had dropped. You're learning the game not quite from scratch, but you're learning a lot of new things again. Checking out Warmachine, it played a lot quicker. It almost feels like a cross between Kill Team and Warhammer. Again, both Warhammer properties, but units are very critical, a little bit smaller, so you can play a 30 or 50 point game and it still feels like a kind of a full army game, just based because of how Warmachine plays. So I really like that it was a little bit more fast paced. There's still the back and forth dice rolls like you had with Warhammer, where you're maybe rolling an attack roll, you're rolling a damage roll, someone's rolling a defense roll, but you're rolling a lot less dice. So instead of the orc player rolling all 60 of his dice at once and then counting out the hits and then rolling into the damage rolls, you're rolling usually like 3 to 4 dice max. So that was kind of nice in that it moves a lot quicker. You're just able to calculate things a lot quicker. I feel like you get into combat a lot quicker, and then the units themselves are definitely a lot of fun. So for me, the speed was enticing, but then once you look at it, it's kind of that rule of cool, right? Of these models look really neat. I want to have fun with this cool warcaster, these cool war beasts, or cool warjacks. There's a lot of neat units, a lot of cool, just different things going on with the Warmachine property that were really exciting. Warmachine also plays on a smaller board. It plays on a 3x3 mat, which again gets you into combat a little bit quicker. The games run a little bit quicker, and it just feels like everything just moves faster overall, which is nice. Again, versus Warhammer, which played over a much larger tabletop. And I also, one of the things that was difficult with Warhammer was trying to play a small game. You never really get the flavor of certain armies. Yeah, you could play a 500 point game, but really, unless you're bringing maybe a full force in of 1,000 points, you really don't get to deploy maybe some of your heavy artillery. You don't get to experience the full army. Whereas I feel like with Warmachine, you can experience your full army even with a very small point game, because I feel like the heart of the army is kind of either your warjack or your war beast, and then your caster. And if you have just those couple units, it really feels like a dynamic game. Add a couple other small units in, you feel like you get the flavor of an army without having to bring a whole bunch of units and a whole massive army to come to bear. So one of the other things I really liked about Warmachine is that it feels like it's in a place to really entice new players. It doesn't feel like it's in a spot where it's just trying to pull money out of you. They've released a couple two-player sets for around $100, which is really nice. You get essentially two armies, two 30-point armies in each of the box sets. And then there are also a variety of other army kits out there. And really, a 30-point game still feels like it's a viable army, so it doesn't feel like you need to buy a lot more beyond that. It's really cool to see them at this spot because when I first got into Warhammer in 8th edition, the start collecting boxes were out. And to me, I really loved the start collecting boxes because they came usually with a character unit, usually a squad, and then either a large model or maybe some sort of vehicle. And this kind of feels the same where the initial box sets, and this is to start collecting, we're still just under $100. And then now you get essentially two army boxes where again, you get your Warcaster, which is kind of your character unit. You get either a Warjack or a Warbeast, which is kind of equivalent to a vehicle. It's more your heavy hitter in the army. And then you'll usually get a unit. And unit sizes in this game are usually, maybe 3 to 5. They're not massive hordes like orcs, or even, it's very odd to see a 5-unit game in Warhammer, so most of your units were at least squads of 10. So again, very small units, fast pace, really enjoy how the setup looks for this. Similar to any war game, it does come with a variety of different factions. I went with the Chimera Shards, which are kind of a mechanical dragon beast faction. Again, I thought they looked really cool. I loved the wings and just the look of them, so I went with that faction. There's definitely some more like battle mechy factions. There is kind of a pirate faction, which one of them does come in one of the initial two-player starter sets. And then there's also a variety of other different factions that are a little bit more like necromancers. And there's also kind of a more magical factions, and just there's a variety of factions out there. So if there's something that you're into, there's ideally a faction that might line up with that. So how does this relate to 3D printing? So a couple things is the new miniatures are 3D printed. I don't have one with me to show right now, but a lot of the new ones they launched, they're 3D printed, so they're very lightweight. The risk is they're also kind of fragile, but that's all the new production minis are 3D printed. Hopefully I'll have some before I air this video, but if not, I'll show some pictures up. Alright guys, while filming this video, I did actually end up ordering the starter set Shadows and Scum. This comes with two different factions. This faction I really liked was the Chimera, these kind of inorganic metallic dragon creatures. I thought they looked really cool, so I really wanted this set for them. And then I did also want a additional faction because I can hopefully get some friends into Warmachine. So these are the Southern Creoles. So I thought the shark guy looked really cool. So it's still gonna be fun to paint up, but again, these are the factions that I really wanted. So I just wanted to show this, and I'll probably get out some of the miniatures so we can take a look at those as well. Alright, so I was thinking that these would be 3D printed, but these are actually a plastic, so both sets are actually a molded plastic, very similar to what a 40K miniature or any other sprue miniature would come on. So these look like really good quality. I'll try to zoom in here if I can. But everything looks nice and clean. I'm sure it's going to require cleanup just like anything else does. But they got some great details. So I'm very excited to get these assembled and get these painted up. Alright, now the other thing I did purchase was the Command Cadre set for the Chimera faction. Now I know the starter box was in 3D printed, but then these should be 3D printed miniatures. So let's take a look at these. Alright, so this is one of the miniatures in the box. So you can see this guy is definitely 3D printed, mostly in one piece. His arm was designed separately, so it needs to be glued together. I think overall the detail looks really good. This looks really crisp down here. There are some spots up here. Let me zoom in a lot more. Alright, there we go. So you can see there are still some supports that will need to get cleaned up. So I'm going to save some time on assembly, but this thing's still going to require a little bit of cleanup to get it in better condition. But so you can see, look, these armor lines look really smooth. So overall, I'm really happy with this. This looks pretty cool. Hopefully it seems a little flexible, not too stiff like some 3D prints. Not incredibly flexible, but I'm not too worried about it breaking. A little worried about it breaking. So very cool. So interesting to see 3D printing making it as a production method. And that's kind of why I want to do a video on this. Was it's cool to see 3D printed miniatures becoming pretty mainstream. The other thing that relates to 3D printing is there are some older armies that they did not release new model kits for. However, they did release 3D printed miniatures for on My Mini Factory. So you can get a whole army bundle for about 150 bucks, and you can essentially download the minis, print the minis, and then you can just build yourself an army that way, which is really cool. So what's great about 3D printing your army is you don't have to depend on model availability, shipping, any damage like that. You can 3D print the army yourself, and then you can just have your force. If you want duplicates of a certain unit, you can just go ahead and print it, which is really cool to see a company kind of getting into 3D printing and then also being supportive of 3D printing as a hobby and not really shunning it where like some other IPs have. So I think it's really cool that the Warmachine, in particular Steamforged Games, has kind of embraced 3D printing as a technology that they can use to really grow the hobby and not something that they need to keep out of their hobby space. So I think that's really cool. That's the last thing I wanted to show about Warmachine was their options for 3D printing at home. So this is one of the free models that's available on their site. It comes pre-supported, and it's I just printed this on my Elegoo Mars 4. I wish I had a little bit darker resin. It doesn't show all the detail very well. Obviously, I've not broken the supports off this yet. But you can see it's got some pretty incredible detail. If I zoom in here, I think overall it looks pretty nice and clean. Yeah, obviously that's my printer doing the work. But great detail on this, and this one was one of the free ones. If you want to check that out, that is available on My Mini Factory. But then there are also more armies available. Some of the legacy armies are available by 3D printing only. I think it was around $150 for a full army set, but you can also buy individual units as well. So very excited to see a manufacturer not only doing 3D printing, but also really supporting 3D printing as a hobby. So not basically excluding 3D printing from the tabletop. Really more embracing it. So that way more players can join and really providing wider options for players to create their own armies. So anyway, I will hopefully have more Warmachine updates in the next couple of weeks here. But anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and please like and subscribe for more.